Hi, in this video I'm going to have a look at the new features and the changes in King of Avalon version 6.4, and there are quite some. Lately sometimes there were hardly any changes, but yeah, this time it is quite some. A big thing is the introduction of a new set of prestige statues, the celestial statues. At least that is potentially a big thing for big spenders. For small or low spenders or non-spenders, there is not much change, of course, because they are out of reach for at least a while. The old maximum you could get for the prestige statue was 70% for the troop specific boost, like bomb and attack, 70%, of course, multiplied by 4 because you could have 4 of each, and 24% of the general troop boosts. For the new one maxed out, so there are 6 levels, there is a total of 138.75. Don't ask me how much that is multiplied by 4, but it's a lot. A little bit below 560, I would say. And for the general troop boost, it is 46, so that is also quite a lot. That is, yeah, that's a huge increase actually. So if you're going to spend and buy all those, you definitely have an additional edge. So there is also related to this a new event, like we have previously seen with the hero weapons. For example, there is a temporary event that allows you to get some extra materials. I'm just going to try it out now. I don't have anything particularly interesting when it comes to prestige statues, but I've been improving them all along. It's a bit a pity that if you look at the rewards you get, it's really very small. I mean, what is 60 statue material when you need thousands? So it is a bit boring as well, but okay. It can still be worth to play this event. It's only going to be 5 or 6 days, I believe, and then it's never coming back. This is so even that's a bit frustrating for me, but it was actually the same with the other similar events that were introduced, like for the heroes, that you feel like, oh, you have already done so much. Worked 3 years to improve in a certain area, while not in heroes. Shouldn't say like that because maybe they haven't been introduced from the start, but you've been working very long to improve, and then you cannot even get through the first trial path. Frustrating. Okay, let's try again. Sometimes it changes after one time, but no. So that means actually forget about playing it every day, because the rewards that you got here is hardly makes it worth to play. One thing I wanted to do is just see, let's see in my items whether I can still, but I don't think I have nearly enough. I just want to see how close I am. Would be nice. I'm just yeah, buying some from my main account. I'm buying some whenever I can. And I think that's still not. No, if I want to craft this, I need 29,600. So I'm still. And when I dismantle this one, I get 20k. So that's not enough yet. Would be nice, and I can make a next level, not that necessarily would be enough. And for the rest, the red dots mean that I have another category where I can activate a tone, and yeah, that's not relevant at the moment. I don't know which one I'm going to do, so I'll keep that for a while. So it was a bit of a sidestep. Yeah, so that was pretty useless for me. The other thing is that for the building here in the end, there are another two levels being introduced, or paths being introduced, chapters, whatever they call it. That is, yeah, because of these new prestige statues. So that was everything for the prestige statues. It's a bit, well, as I said, it's very interesting for big spenders, for even lower medium spenders, people who've long time played. This really is not very relevant, sorry. The War Aid Center, some things have been changed there as well. There have been two new sections introduced, the stronghold supplies. I think this kind of changes the old daily delivery, not sure. Because the old daily delivery seems to have gone. So for each of the resources you can get some daily delivery for a period of 7 days, which is yeah, quite a nice amount, 2.8, almost 2.9 million silver, 11 million iron and so on. Of course you have to pay some money for that, and then you can get some trading speed ups items, you can get some construction speed up items. If you prefer it, they put it in hours or even days. Yeah, this looks like a lot, but maybe it's not that much actually. But you can get some daily gold. There is a growth fund. I assume that if I activate it now, I would get all the gold, because I've already reached to stronghold 20, and for each level that you reach you get some gold, but nah, I don't really find it worth it. But yeah, you could do it. The subscription is now in here. Maybe, I don't know if it previously already was, but that doesn't seem to be, nothing seems to be changed there. If I look at the daily delivery, I'm actually redirected to the stronghold supply, so from that point of view I think that is a replacement. Okay, other things that have changed for the lucky shot, there are some changes to the artifact category. I'm not sure what has changed here. When I looked at it, what I found interesting is that I could easily get a field with a lot of enchanted mist, which is nice. As I said, I don't know if this is a change, but I found this nice because it seems relatively, I get a lot more lake gravel recently compared to the enchanted mist. So if you can see here, I'm a little bit over 2/3 of the requirements, while here I already have almost 50% more than I need. And I'm actually exchanging each day enchanted mist, so it means you really get a lot more lake gravel relatively, so it's nice. I might play one of those fields with a lot of enchanted mist. That was also actually nice about the old daily delivery that contains enchanted mist, while the subscription contains lake gravel. I've never used the subscription, but I was also thinking about doing that daily delivery, but then they took it away, so that's no longer an option. So that was it for the lucky shot. The magic spire, I also haven't played that yet, so let's have a look. That was reset. I just did a couple of levels. One thing that is gone now is the additional benefits that you can get. Interesting, you see now the average magic spire power in this area, so that's quite of a nice addition. They say, okay, you have magic spire power. Would really like it if they put some 1000 separators in here, so that it is more easy to distinguish. So this is the magic spire power is your power, the total power minus the stroop and trap power, so that gives you more indication what kind of boost does this person have, I guess. So I have 109 million, and in this level it is 26 million, so from that point of view you can maybe move a bit up and see until you reach some level where you feel that is a good level for you. You shouldn't get too high, but maybe also not too low. So far 63. $88 is getting close to my power. Still a lot of empty mines, I guess, because to admit that I'm not completely sure where I was. I think I was doing level 8, so I guess I'm going back there. I might try some level higher later. My favorite mine, hey, it is 7 hours, that is definitely not mine. Maybe I was gathering in a higher level. Let me think about that. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to also try out. Let's do this configuration. It should now also be, they said, okay, you can leave the crystal mines in 1 hour and 40, so you cannot leave right away, but once this time has expired you can voluntarily leave. I probably do that and go somewhere else. I've never, this is actually a feature that was already available, I'm not really sure, maybe I should just try it. But that requires, no, I'm not going to do it, that requires a complete reset, that's a bit boring. Okay, that was it for the magic spire changes. Another thing that I was not really impressed with is the high scores that have been added, basically because a high score without comparison doesn't mean much at all. So if you go to the complete bottom of the boost and such, and you get a certain score, that I assume this is the new high score they were talking about. But yeah, what does it mean? I mean, I have a gemstone score of 62,000, but yeah, you can just see that if I enhance a gemstone, I can see, oh, it's now 62,400 or something. Yeah. Not something I find very interesting somehow. Don't have a direct suggestion how they could have done it better, but this just doesn't add much to me. Another thing I didn't understand is that they said in the description there is an increased accumulative amount of crafting tome of war and war strategy levels. No idea what that means. I think if I look at the library of war, to me, oh, okay, now I see it. Sorry, it's clear. We can, instead of being maxed at 5, we can now go until 10. So that's actually quite interesting, because yeah, some of the favorite ones being kept at 5 is quite low. Okay, that is clear after all. And let's see what is a bit. Maybe it's actually decreased the amount, so the first 5 it seems I got 3% and the next one 2.5%. And let's see how is that with the infantry one. Do we see similar pattern? That actually seems to be increased. Oh, so maybe that's also a thing, the higher you go, the more you get? No. I don't know. Seems a bit weird. And this one is, so we've done 4, so it is 2.4 and another 2.4, so that's still the same. Maybe it changed for levels 6 to 10. But yeah, let's just double check what I'm saying. So here it has been 5 times 3 and the next one is 3.5, so that's an increase. And for the bowman it has been 5 times 3 and then it goes to 2.5, so that is a decrease. Interesting. Okay, well, at least it is clear what has changed there. For the heroes, the Boars, the Elder and Oberon, Lord of the Shadow, 2 of the anniversary heroes are now also available in the summoning circle, so I assume that means just when you do a master summoning you get a chance of getting those as well. The beginner's save level is now level 9. I don't even remember what the original level was, maybe level 5 or 6 or something. So for new players that means you are excluded from being attacked a bit longer, but yeah, I don't know whether this change is really very significant, because for active players you very easily reach level 10 or even, yeah, I would say even level 15 is still easy to do. After that it becomes a bit harder. Steel is removed from the wishing well. Don't know if anything has come back for that. No, it's just gone. I always traded 1 steel a day. That was kind of my way to get the 20 points to max out everything on silver or iron, whichever I needed the most for the 11, and then 2 of each and 1 of steel to get the 20 points for my dailies. But yeah, that's no longer possible for some reason, don't know. Didn't find it cheap way to get steel or anything, but it has changed. There's a new Mark of Destiny, or Destiny Mark it's called here, and here Mark of Destiny. Yeah, let's see. Nothing very interesting, I would say. Yeah, if you are lucky enough to get these, that is quite nice, at least for me, because I'm definitely underdeveloped in that area. I count the hero weapons. But yeah, just play it. It's a chance to get rewards. Normally if you don't spend, then you won't get anything good, just something from the first category, but still, yeah, just play it. It's something to get for free. For the rest, yeah, they kind of announced that there will be a new season of the Underpass, but it hasn't opened yet. And yeah, one thing, sorry, that I should have mentioned in the beginning is that there are some new features introduced for the gold event Kingdom Raid. Completely forgot to mention about those, but unfortunately I don't see it yet in my list. So I've played it before, I've made a video on it, but now there's nothing yet in the list. So these new features that they mention about the raid chest and the raid mastery, don't know what it means, so I will make a video on the next version of the Kingdom Raid. It also seems, since the regular gold event is gone, I kind of expect, or hope at least, they are going to extend on the Kingdom Raid gold event, so that it also has multiple stages so that you can get more rewards, but I'm not sure about that. That is just guessing. Okay, that was it, quite a lot. If you have any additional... oh, sorry, one thing I wanted to check, just to be sure that the rewards haven't changed yet. Good that I checked, because they have changed actually the rewards. And if that is true for the violence, I'm quite expected it's also true for the others. So the Lord equipment rewards have been removed, and it's now back to emblem essence. So that should be true for the violence, the demonic siege. Yeah, and yeah, the UAC and the Neither War still have a mix of all rewards, I expect. So there nothing has changed. I mean, you get a lot less of the equipment, materials, but you do, I mean, you just got the same as last time, but I mean, you get a little bit of everything here. So these events are not focused on specific categories, but you just get a little bit of everything. Also very nice. And what else? Maybe was it the Kingdom tourney? The focus there will also be on other new boards, I assume, when we get the quest and such. Okay. That was it. I can't think of anything else at the moment. As I said, if you have any additions or any questions, they're always welcome. And if you have any additional information, it's most welcome to share. You can help myself and other players. That was it. Thanks for watching this video.